Hi and welcome back to PJ Maybe. Today I'm going to actually have a look at a new movie. A couple of people have asked me to have a look at some of the new stuff, see what an old guy who doesn't like modern stuff. And today I'm going to actually look at Tomorrow War 2021, starring Chris Pratt, Yvonne Strahovski, I assume I've got that right, and J.K. Simmons. This movie, on first viewing, without thoughts, it's a good movie. Good visually, good entertainment value, the fight sequences are good, the creatures look amazing. On the whole, if you just want to sit back and enjoy it without having a thought in your head, it's so entertaining. However, once you put your brain in gear, the movie makes zero sense. It starts off with a football game and a group of time travellers turn up to deliver a message that in 30 years' time the planet is overrun by aliens. The future of mankind's in jeopardy and they need soldiers. They want people from the past to come and help them. Initially, the governments get all behind this just because they turn up. There's no questions about it, nothing. And they start sending the draft. The draft is made up of people who are not going to be around. I've heard people say that it's older people so they won't meet themselves in the future. I think it's older people because in their timeline, all the people who were there have fought and prepared for it. They pick people who had died prior to the creatures turning up, or the white spikes. They have all them. They give them a week's training, nothing else, and send them in for a week's long tour of duty. And if they survive, they come back. It starts off with the group with Chris Pratt's in it. He's ex-Marine Special Forces and he joins back up to help protect his daughter's future. It starts off with the drop in. Instead of actually arriving just above the ground, what happens is they arrive in the air and the whole squad drops. Most people are killed, only a few survive because they hit a rooftop pool, which would have killed them if you think about it, but let's not think about the first run through. So we go through and he meets his daughter in the future, Colonel Muri Forrester. He basically teams up with her. They try and find a way of killing the creatures by maybe creating a toxin. To do that, they need to get a female white spike rather than the males. The males are the shock troops, as it were. It's a battle to get the white spike and survive to go back in time to give the government the toxin, so when they do come up they've got a fighting chance. So entertainment, good set piece movie fighting, good set piece creatures and a decent premise. However, when you start looking at it, Chris Pratt's Dan Forrester comes back after surviving and getting the toxin, and he goes to the governments and says that they need to find these white spikes, and they seem to be not interested. What they should be doing is spending the next 30 years training every single person to be ready for when they turn up, so they're already prepared, make sure they've got the right weaponry. They're told that heavy caliber does the damage, but everybody's got a small caliber machine gun, whereas modern armies nowadays have got heavy caliber because people wear armour. It didn't make sense, but I could understand it in the first watch through. It was a case of this is the weapons they had left, so everybody just got what they had left and that's it, because most of the armed forces and most of the weapons have been depleted, so this is what they've got left and they're working with what they've got. However, on the flip side, when you're thinking about it, the whole time travel thing does not work. So the fact that they come back in time has already changed the future, because it implies that these white spikes turned up and just basically overran the whole world. The fact that they've come back would have brought everyone together to prepare and been ready for it. Then when Chris Pratt comes back, he's got a toxin. They don't seem interested. They'll prepare the toxin, but nobody seems interested to try and find out where the creatures come from. And with the help of his father, few friends and a student at school who's constantly being made fun of because he likes volcanoes, so they couldn't go to scientists or volcanologists, geologists to find all this out, but they had to go to a kid in school and he told them where to look. And when they go there, They find the white spikes, but they can't tell what one's the female, what one's the male. So they start injecting them, and the creatures start waking up. They kill most of them by blowing up the ship. Why they couldn't have actually just blown up the ship in the first place, or gone and told the authorities the creatures were there, so they could have brought a larger force to make sure nothing gets out. But the Queen gets out, and there's the fight to make sure she is contained, and it's Chris Pratt and his father, played by J.K. Simmons, who looks ripped. He looks like a very small cut down version of the Incredible Hulk, and accordingly got the part because there was a video of him getting ripped and the guy wanted him in it because they wanted a survivalist gun nut, and he just looked the part. So he got into the same shape again, which I must admit looks great. Compared to my big fat stomach, it looked amazing. So eventually they kill the white spikes, which means the time travel thing would not have worked because they wouldn't have need to come back to recruit everybody. So it's a paradox, and the movie just skips right over it. Does not care one iota. Just watch it for the unintelligent parts, or don't think about it as the message. If you use your brain, the movie makes no sense. If you don't want to use your brain, it is a visually pleasing, entertaining movie. So how you want to watch it is fine. Do what I did. I watched it the first time and just didn't think about it, and it was entertaining. Based on the fact that I don't like current movies, it was entertaining. That's the best I can say. For entertainment value without thought, I would definitely give it probably 3 out of 5, 3.5 to be on the safe side. However, if you want to watch it and then actually see a cohesive story that makes sense, then I wouldn't even give it a half a point. It literally makes zero sense for time travel movies. It basically, for any type of movie, because even things like the daughter, when she's older, her father gets killed and it basically says he survives, so anything that happened to him there, we already knew he was going to survive because his daughter said he died at a later time, not during the war, and she is annoyed because it was his fault, because him and his wife split. Was it because of the war? It implies not. It implies it was just because he was unhappy with his life as a school teacher. So even things like that. So as soon as he goes into the future, it changes everything. And the fact that he came back, it makes zero sense. It's not a time travel movie. The easiest way to make it make sense is it's a time dimension movie. So it's people from another dimension come to this earth and ask for volunteers to go to their dimension to help fight their war, which is roughly 30 years ahead, because the two timelines don't add up. They're already talking about a second movie, which to me sounds crazy because they've finished it. So how are they going to do another movie? Are they going to actually have another time travel and says, oh, we missed, there's more of these creatures, they're bigger, they're faster, they're more dangerous, so we need more people to come through? It won't make much sense. So if you want to see this movie, don't think about it as they travel back in time. Think about it as they travel from a different dimension, which is roughly 30 years ahead. That way, the two timelines being so different, it makes sense. But that's an old guy's thought of new movies. Not that impressed. If you like what you see, please like, share and subscribe. If you want to see other ones, leave a comment in and tell me what movies I should look at. As an old guy looking at new movies, I haven't seen most of the Marvel stuff. A lot of the new Star Wars, Star Trek, I haven't watched them. So things like that, if you want me to review something new through my old eyes, let me know. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, I'm not old, I'm classic. PJ Maybe out.